we all go do some push-ups?
I think we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, ignore my audio if it's a little bit off. 4:20 p.m., Canoga Park, California. Once again, a couple technical difficulties, but we're about to have a good time. This episode is brought to you by Eagle Rider.
So we've been doing this for probably 18 months.
Uh-huh.
Maybe not quite that. And the first one we did, the camera was on it was an iPhone, and it was up our nose. And
Right.
Jake came in and held it once and was shaking everywhere. We had Laura come in. She was like,
Yeah.
we just haven't figured out our technical difficulties.
No, I think we need to get a whole new panel and a whole new system.
So, Jace, we're going to be coming and talking to you, buddy. Give us a sound check on Josh. Just make sure you can hear him. Would you give us a comment or two, please?
Well, they can probably hear me, but it might sound like I'm underwater with 9 speakers going.
So you're a mermaid today.
Something like that. But
Yes.
you know what? I'm going to just forget about it.
Now you're
Technically,
talking.
that's a merman.
Right, right.
It's a
Well, we don't know.
Wet the whistle might
We're
make the
not
sound
blind.
better.
No.
So, what a busy week, what a busy month, what a busy year. Things are just going and going and going like crazy. Orders, trips, meeting people. We have friends across the country. I guess if you're shaking hands with America, that's kind of what happens, right?
Yeah, I hope people caught our day two Sturgis. I took these boys. They had never been on this road. It's the 14 just outside of Cedar City going through Dixie National Forest. We only had one little hiccup where they were doing some construction, but that happens on those mountain roads during
Oh, it seems every
during
year
the
there's
summer.
always construction.
Well, they got snow in the winter, so
Right.
they only have a certain amount of time. But what an epic run. And I think next week's we're going from Glenwood to Luss,
So yesterday was day 2,
day 2.
and we went from Cedar City
Yep.
to Glenwood.
To Glenwood.
That was great. So Doc
Yeah.
Holliday's coming up in the next episode. If you haven't seen him, you got to get to the YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, tell your friends, because the videos are just awesome. And hey, you can see them on our Instagram. You got to see them on your TV and on YouTube.
But I'd also like to thank Alex and Tyson and the folks at New Belgium.
Yeah, got some beer going on here.
They've got some beer. We talked to them. We talked to Tyson at Brews. It's every Wednesday. There's a ritual here. We watch the drop. We do a couple things after that, and then we go down to Brews, which is a local place here, for lunch. And we met Tyson, one of the distributors for New Belgium, and started talking to him.
And next thing
He
you
hooked
know,
us up with Alex. So I think we're going to have a good time. And thank you, New Belgium. They do Fat Tire. They do. I mean, there's so many beers that they have. We'll get through the whole laundry list once we get some of the other cases of beer that are coming.
so real quick, what is this Huntington Fire Department hat?
Yeah, that's Justin. He left Huntington Fire Department.
Justin's his son.
He was an AO there and is going into the LA City Fire Tower. So he's moving and shaking. So he wanted to donate his hat. So as we know, we have the patch wall here.
Yep.
So we got my son's fireman ball cap here.
Boom. There you have it.
Boom.
So this is an interesting show, something different. Gail and I would usually cruise the parking lot here. The screen printers for our T-shirts are there, Thrashing's across the way right there, and we'd always run into our good friend Adam, and we'd have these great conversations about Arizona and highway and travel and art. He's an awesome artist, and he just came in to say hi. So Galen said, "Hey, have a seat, and we're going to have a conversation."
Isn't his name Alex? Just kidding. So yeah, I mean,
Only with enough beer.
we actually are in the building you guys were in.
That's right.
When you guys had the screen printing, and they're still over, and now in the corner where you were.
Right.
Did the little swap, and there were these tanks and different things, and then you had this area where you would paint,
Yeah.
and
My own little studio in there.
just amazing stuff. So explain to them kind of who you are, what your Instagram is, where they could find your stuff, and what kind of artist you are.
All right. Cheers, by the way.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
And what are you
Thank
drinking first?
This is a
Cheers.
Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA.
All right.
It's actually really good.
I've got the 1985 IPA.
It reminds me of a nostalgic kind of a beer that I had back in the day that I loved, and I can never remember the name of.
Well,
but it's very close to that. It's really good. So
I
I'm
got
happy
Voodoo
with it.
Ranger Juicy Haze IPA.
We had that at Brews as well. Josh
Yeah.
was drinking one of those. Your
good.
father had one today, and it turned him over a little
He
bit.
turned into Felipe.
No, he's George.
Yeah. Yes, George. Yes.
So back to you.
All right, yeah. My name is Adam Lisco, and I'm a painter, artist, and designer, and work over there. Have the warehouse. We set it up years ago with All Aspects, doing the clothing stuff, and then met you fine people years ago, and always enjoy hanging out and seeing the bikes and the whole culture that you
Yeah.
guys bring here. So I guess we have two intermixing cultures that seem to blend very well together.
Art and highways, but it's great because we've looked at several of your paintings that you'll have a 2-lane
Yeah.
going through
Yeah.
some beautiful mountain.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was cars because, I like driving my cars out there, but I love the open road just like anybody. So I guess for me, I would have to put the windows down and the moonroof open to get that sort of same vibe, but I guess less bugs in the face,
Right, right.
So where would they find your stuff?
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Adam Lisco. It's just at Adam Lisco, and that's spelled Lisco. It's kind of a weird spelling, or adamlisco.com, same spelling.
But it's
And-
great. I mean, you do huge paintings and
Yeah.
small just stuff and the colors and just the tones and just it's very eye-catchy, colorful
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it's all oil paint in particular, oil on canvas generally. And then, capturing landscape can be pretty sedate, but I always try to give it that kick, our memories kind of imbue a certain color on how we see things.
Right.
We did that road trip back in the day. We remember it. I think painting it offers me a chance to kind of put color into that and sort of vibe it out a little bit and make it a little bit more like the memory of the place, more even than just the specifics of the place. So I don't really paint from like a picture, but I take a mental shot and then sort of recreate that.
Well, it's amazing. It's almost, and I don't know if this is the right way, but the stuff that I've seen, it's almost like there's a picture painting inside of a painting.
Right.
You have these just different movements that aren't, it's just amazing.
Well, I would hope so. I mean, I think a good composition should allow your eye to wander around a little bit. You want to see over here, you want to see over there.
Yeah.
And, look way deep in there, and none of it is actually. It's all 2D surface,
Right.
but through light and color
But
and
it just
atmosphere,
feels like there's,
yeah, perspective gives you that chance to get into it.
And that's
So-
kind of the same thing when you ride. When you're behind the handlebars on your motorcycle flying down the highway and this painting is blasting by you.
Yeah.
And you're seeing stuff. You're seeing clouds. You're seeing colors, grass. I mean, rain falling. It's a full,
Yeah.
you're in a painting movie.
Yeah, and the
something.
three-dimensional shift of
Yeah.
it as it's happening in real time.
well, and we've had people comment, you guys are scripted, or you guys, what's the big deal with clouds? And we're just in the moment. And
We're in
it's
the
like,
moment.
You see, because we don't have the big puffies all the time out here with just an ultra amazing blue sky. It's, so when we're out, especially after a storm or something,
Ah.
when the heightened sensitivity of, the smells
Yeah, I
and
was going to say that.
it's incredible, especially when you're kind of exposed to it.
It's a living painting
It
on
it
a
is.
motorcycle.
Yeah, there's no bad compositions in nature.
Right, right. So you did what we always talk about doing. You actually moved
Yeah.
from here. You moved to Arizona.
Yeah.
You got this cool little property. You're digging it.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I've got a foot in each place. Foot in California, foot there now. But
Nice.
but to be honest with you, being out there is pretty spectacular with
Yeah.
the monsoon season, which
You didn't know about.
well, I heard about it, but I didn't I didn't take it really seriously. In LA, I used to complain to my friends that like back east that, oh man, it's just another perfect sunny day, and they would be like, are you crazy? Why are you saying that? Like, we would love to have a perfect day. Yeah,
Right.
but when you have 260 of them straight in a row,
Right.
it's kind of non-dynamic, if
Right.
that's a term. It doesn't seem to have any like variation.
No.
There, you get like a nice hot sunny day, then in the afternoon, all of a sudden, it's like thunder, lightning. You get that smell in the air. There's a charge in the air. It's a whole different vibe.
Right.
It's a really interesting place to be.
So
Yeah.
how many inches of rain so far in your town from the monsoons?
I don't know how many inches of rain particularly, but I know last week it felt like a hurricane. It actually took part of the. I'm working on this. I'm building a new studio space. It's converted an old workshop, and I had to take the roof off of the thing anyway, but it peeled the roof
No way.
off of the old for me. It was like taken off there, so that was pretty exciting. And it bent the fences. It was extremely strong wind.
Well,
and out of nowhere, it was just sunny and nice and sedate, and then just boom. It
We've
was
seen
like a
some
total
pictures
storm.
of the
Crazy.
just the rain and the water
Flash
damage
floods.
through-
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
well,
wild.
Jeff lives in Philadelphia, our other buddy, and he would send me pictures or videos of storms that would blow through, and all I could do, and I used to do it just to mess with them, I'd take one of those plastic chairs and just tip it over on my lawn and say, hey, look, we had a windstorm come
Right,
through,
yeah.
because that's all I could offer up
Yeah.
here in
But
California.
it was fake.
It was totally fake.
So
yeah.
Oh no, it's exciting, but honestly I love it. Like I love going out on hikes. The girl and I, we go out on hiking, and it'll be just like this beautiful sunny day, and then there's just like this nice riparian kind of area with the river and the trees, and then all of a sudden just clouds, and the whole light changes, and you just get this really beautiful backdrop of these grays with the green trees and the red rocks, all because right near Sedona is where I
Right.
am, so you just get that really intense color scheme. It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
I grew up in Salt Lake, so we got the seasons, all four of them.
Right.
And so the thunders, storms and the hailstorms, and just amazing. You're right. It's weird here. We take it for granted a little bit sometimes how great the weather is.
Oh yeah.
But it's also kind of cool to be in that change, and you got to be careful when you're out hiking too.
Yeah, for sure.
We were out on our motorcycles, open meadow, and all of a sudden here comes the lightning.
Yeah.
And it was cracking trees and wind, and
Really?
trees were dropping right and left in front of. I mean, it was gnarly.
Yeah, but that's good practice. You can
Yeah.
get your swerve.
You got to find that cover.
Well, I grew
Yeah,
up in
for sure.
California, been here my whole life, but every time I cross the border and I get into Arizona, I get this great feeling. And for some reason, the sky seems like it changes. There's clouds, just like you say. It doesn't have anything to do with this juicy
What kind
haze.
of feeling do you get? That's
But it's
what
like-
I want to know.
I always have a really good feeling in my body when I'm in northern Arizona.
Is it like a wake up in the morning good feeling?
Yeah, it's almost like I'm home.
Hmm.
And
That's not what I mean.
I don't know what you mean, but hey, I just feel like I'm home, and I
Does it
love
happen
it.
anymore?
Yeah, when I cross the border, that's when it happens. It feels great. I mean, as soon as I get off my bike and I'm walking down the street in Williams, even though it's a town, I feel good. I'm like, this
I
is
know
awesome.
you love it, but and we know that you love it. We've heard it a lot, especially Williams. But you're also the type of person that, like when we crested Yellowstone and
Oh.
you saw the valley
awesome.
there with the bison, and you're like, this is my Dances with Wolves moment. I
Right.
mean, he was so excited, and you love seeing kind of that new and even
I
the
love,
cold.
yeah, but all those things, and you're 100% right. I'll be in South Dakota, and I'll come over the Black Hills. I'll be in Utah, Zion. Everything blows my mind because I'm into art as well, and I love colors.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's all said and done, I can read the book about northern Arizona over and over. Watch, that's just.
But we have comms now, so we talk. In the days where we didn't have the comms, we would look at each other and we were both pointing at the same things. It was like,
Right. Sign language.
because
pretty much.
we're both, heads on a swivel.
But that was kind of
Old
fun
linebacker term.
because we
Yeah.
didn't have the radios and we weren't
Right.
talking, but we knew.
And once we
The-
stopped, it was like, did you see? Yeah,
But the hand signals, the body language.
but we're rubs now, so we need comms. Josh, how you doing over there?
Rubs are a rub in the biker world. We've been called it once or twice. It's rich urban bikers.
Oh no, not that.
So
If they only
I would
knew
imagine
how
anything
poor
that
we
brings light to the passion is a good thing.
we're HWBs,
HWBs.
hard-working bikers.
Well, as long as I've known you guys, you've pretty much been on the bike 90% of the time. So I wouldn't exactly say that that's like
Right.
lightweight.
Right.
You know, you guys are pretty much glued to your bikes.
Actually,
Yeah.
this is a funny story. When we first started, Galen and I had our iPhones, we had a laptop, and we went into Adam's office over here, and he was showing us some iMovie stuff.
I
And
remember that.
we were standing there like guys going, what the heck is this? And we looked at each other and went, we're not doing this.
And he's like,
Yeah, that was-
I'll help you a little bit, but I got a day job, and so, and we're just like going,
so the
what
funny,
did he just do?
right? The funny thing is we left him,
Yep.
walked 50 feet over, got on the phone with Josh, and he's been with us ever since.
Yeah, that was. I
That's,
remember that day.
That's
well.
weird.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous. You guys are like looking at me like, what could you do? I'm like, I don't really know. I got paintings to paint, man.
Yeah.
And this takes a long time and a lot of effort.
Right.
You
right.
guys got the perfect guy because he's out there with you on bikes.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I don't ride bikes, so,
Right.
you know.
It all worked out, the fate, and we're in it. We're actually 2 years old.
I think you're older than that.
2.5?
2.5 years old this month.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, go ahead.
You know, and from where we started this thing to where it's at today, and we've got a lot of really cool announcements coming over the next couple of weeks with partners that we're doing some stuff with. One was Eagle Rider that Josh mentioned earlier. They're going to be on next week, and we'll kind of talk a little bit more about that. We've got Custom Dynamics. We've got New Belgium. There's just a lot of really cool things happening. So, and it's taken time to build it, you know, and we're still not anywhere close to where we need to be. We're still not really taking any money out of the company.
I got to tell you, I kind of been embezzling.
I actually know
You heard
how
it here
much
first,
money is
folks.
in every account, and you've got to quit having lunches with Josh. That's 3 this week.
Yes, and we will continue.
No,
We're hungry.
we won't continue. You bring your own lunch.
If your beard shaved tomorrow, it's because it was shaven for you as a retribution.
Right, right.
No, you guys have come a long way. I'm literally, I was just saying earlier, I'm literally seeing people out there. I'm like, hey, you guys ever hear of 2LaneLIVE? And they're like, 2LaneLIVE, yeah. Like, you guys getting famous out there.
Well, we travel a lot, and we love that. We're shaking hands with America, so we know people across the country, and it's just awesome. Speaking of storms, we were in Deadwood not too long ago, and one of the guys we know, Jesse from Legends, they were out hiking, and all of a sudden a windstorm came in that literally was knocking trees over, and they had to run for cover. Came
That's
out of
the
the
kids.
blue, and it was gone.
Yeah,
You know,
it happens fast.
yeah,
It's really quick.
Yeah.
We were out on a hike, and we met some people out there, and as we were talking, their hair, this one woman's hair just started standing up on end, and because we were up on this like little butte, and they said we need to get out of here, and we just started running down the trail just to get out of there. But I mean, it was clearly there was lightning on the way. You could feel it, that charge.
oh right.
Yeah, in your skin, you could feel it. It's an interesting.
So where
vibe.
you live now, are you in the flats? Because I'm
No.
thinking when you come down from
I'm in like
Jerome,
the foothills.
the foothills.
Yeah, the mountain that Jerome is on, it's like kind of near Mingus Mountain.
Can you see that from your place?
Jerome, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. It's like a little beautiful jewel on the hill, if I can give some imagery to that.
Yeah.
It's really pretty place.
And if you go up to Jerome and you look out, you can see the San Francisco peaks and all
It's
the.
crazy valley.
Well,
yeah.
there was a article or something we saw on Jerome why it was haunted. Did you see
Oh
that?
yeah.
And it's because they took they say it's haunted, right?
Yeah.
There's ghosts in the, but they also came out with another reason why it's haunted. They took dead people at the time
I heard
and
this.
crushed them up, and they were now into the cement,
Yeah, the ashes.
into the building. Yeah.
That's what I've heard too.
So
Hopefully they were already passed on when they crushed them up.
hopefully.
Yeah. They didn't use them live. You know,
Otherwise,
then-
it's some like bizarro art piece, you know.
right.
You know, it's a still life.
Have you
But
been up
it's-
to Jerome?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a cool little spot.
Jerome is a trip.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like little kind of derelict, or that's probably not the right word, little run down, ramshackle kind of places up there.
Right.
There's a couple of places I would love to explore, like some old mining
Mm-hmm.
structures, but you know, it says, you know, hell no, don't go
At your own
across this
risk.
line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we would come up the 10. And what was
So you go into Prescott.
before Prescott? What's the town where the firefighters?
Yarmouth.
Yarnell.
Yarnell.
And you go by Yarnell. Have you been to Yarnell?
No, I don't think I have.
So that's where the 19 firefighters lost their life in that.
I remember
It's a
that.
cool little town. It's
That's
a
right
little
there?
art.
It's Yarnell.
Really?
Yeah,
So
you
you-
should check it out.
You
Oh,
go over the
so sad.
mountain, you end up in Yarnell. We stopped at the memorial there. And then you go down into Prescott.
I
No.
thought that was
Well, yeah,
California.
that
that,
way.
wasn't California.
No, it was
No.
Arizona.
Oh, wow.
So
Is that
go-
Yavapai County
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
still?
so.
Okay.
So what's I'm trying to think, Yarnell, when we rolled into,
So we come off the 10 and we go through the desert town there that's still California.
right,
What do you?
I'm trying to think of the town when, just before we got into Jerome. We're in the mountains, and also we make a corner and we're on the switchbacks for Jerome. And
Yeah.
I remember we were going, what the heck? We didn't know.
Yeah, we
And
came
we're like,
out
what
of
the heck is this
Prescott.
town? It's on the side. So is it after Prescott?
Yeah, so as we came out of Prescott, came down in the valley and climbed the hill.
Gotcha.
Beautiful look down into the valley
Right.
where that pullout is. And then all of a sudden you come around, it's like, what is this place?
Right. Well, if you get a chance and you go through Yarnell, actually they have the road where you get off the highway and you drive around or ride through the memorial. There's a site there, and it takes you right back down to the road to keep going. It's
I'm going to
very,
check that out.
very interesting.
Well, in the town of Yarnell is kind of a cool little, it's got a little artist vibe to
It's
it.
got to be a small town.
It
Yeah.
is.
Okay, yeah.
Yarnell, Arizona. Check it
I
out.
will check that out. That's pretty cool. There's so many hidden things there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of hidden things. I was just learning from a local guy that there's all these, petroglyphs everywhere. There's so many of them. They're not like tourist spots even. They're just everywhere.
Well, we've
You
done
know.
a lot in Arizona, and we haven't even scratched the surface.
Oh, yeah.
And we've
there's-
been down south, east, west, north, and there's still so much there to see. It's amazing.
It's a pretty mind-blowing state, and there's a lot of scale to it.
Yeah.
Things are big there. The rocks are dramatic. You
Right.
know, even in the Sedona area, it looks like a little mini Grand Canyon.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
the Grand Canyon is absolutely massive.
Right.
You know, so it's a really
Well, and I think there's
spectacular
something
spot.
about, because you go to Zion or Bryce or Moab, and there's something about that red rock
Yeah.
that just, it's got some of that, I don't know what it is, if it's a fungus or what have you, but the different coloring in it, and you got kind of some deeper brown, and then especially when it's wet,
Yeah,
I mean,
it really
just,
punctuates that.
just amazing.
You know, it's like I think it's because you get to see the exposed history. You could see the sort of layering of
Right.
millions and millions of years. It gives you that mystery, straight shot to your eyes. It's exposed.
Have you
know?
been to Monument Valley?
Yeah, I have when I was a kid. Actually,
Go back there now.
it was monumental.
Yes,
Yes.
You need to go back there now and then stay in the San Juan River Inn.
Okay.
It's a little motel
Hmm.
on the side of a mountain with the river right below it, and it's right outside of Monument Valley by
Oh, really?
Mexican Hat. Where
Wild horses crossing the river.
No way.
Yeah.
I mean,
Really
you'd
cool.
be inspired for some new art. I know if you went there.
You could do the mittens.
The mittens.
The mittens.
It's, East and West Mittens. It's the monuments that
Oh, okay.
They
ones-
look like mittens.
Gotcha. I thought you meant I could like wear mittens.
you can
No,
wear
you-
mittens in
I
the
thought I
winter.
could wear mittens anywhere, guys. Not just there.
Have you been to Mexican Hat?
No, but I think you told me about that
Yeah,
before. 'Cause
with the
it's ringing a
standing
bell.
rock, with the sombrero. Then you're looking at it going, how's that thing there? But northern Utah, northern Arizona, and southern Utah are amazing.
Yeah, we did a trip with one of Josh's buddy, Justin, and he took us on a little caravan, and he started explaining some of the history behind the arches. And you think about how those start, and they could be this big, and next thing you know, over millions and millions of years, they've broken through and crested, and now you can see through the rock.
Right.
I mean, it's just amazing,
Yeah, there's a dramatic history there.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot about we don't even understand yet.
Right.
Still, I think a lot of that was like glacial, massive glacial breaks where huge floods came through and carved that stuff out fast. And there's a lot of new information coming out about those kind of possibilities for what went down.
And sometimes you look up and you're looking up 30, 40, 50 feet to see the petroglyph.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, well, how'd they get up there? It's like,
good question.
duh.
There's also,
Actually, it was probably at that level.
well, I mean, the way the flash floods work there, I would
Yeah.
not be shocked
That
if
it
it's
just
just
carves
been
it out.
carved out
Yeah.
over a short amount of time.
Right, and it's sandstone,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it, right?
Yeah.
But the arches, there could be a little indent, and then the wind and the sand comes in and it spins, and then now it's creating
That's
this.
what I'm saying. It's
Then that's
millions
the
of
arch,
years.
you know.
It's like a living work of art.
Yeah.
And you go to like into Arches National and see some of the mini arches, and then some of the larger. I mean, it's
You remember
pretty amazing.
the scene in Thelma and Louise when they drove the car off the
Yeah.
thing? That's in Canyonlands in Utah.
Oh, okay.
And we went to that point, Thelma and Louise Point, and you stand at the edge and you're like, oh my gosh. I mean, it's like
I'm amazed.
thousands of feet
I'm
down.
amazed they survived that to go on to do other movies.
I know.
Movie magic, right?
How did they do that?
Oh, that wasn't real.
So that's amazing. You got to go on your way home. Go to Yarnell.
There are so many.
You gotta go there.
Well, I'm definitely going to go check that out. There are so many places to check out. Still, I'm still in the phase of like working on the place and getting the new studio set up, and that's been a lot of work to get that going. But you know, my hope is that once I'm a little bit more settled in there and I'm back in that rhythm of having my own little spot to be painting full time. I've been having to split that up a little bit and share that with the process of building the new spot.
Right.
So I mean, it's already built, but it's kind of old, and so I'm like rebuilding it. But it's a very cathartic experience. It's probably good for me to kind of not just have a studio, but like literally work the studio with my own hands and like build it to where I want to
That'd be great.
Yeah. So
Well, there's a
we haven't
artist.
even been to the Grand Canyon yet.
No,
I mean,
you got. Come on,
You
man.
gotta go to the
or
north,
I want to go check out the crater. I mean,
go to
that's,
the north rim of the Grand Canyon.
yeah,
You've
that's
gotta
what Lance
try
was
that.
saying to me last year. is
I'm
check
doing
that
a
out.
Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA. Thank you, New Belgium.
So Galen and I had the privilege
This
when
one's
we were
good.
in Deadwood. We got to interview Scott Jacobs, and he's an artist,
Okay.
and he's one of the first commissioned artists that got to do anything he wanted with Harleys and around Harleys.
Oh, okay.
He has a gallery in Deadwood. He's got a few in a restaurant in Deadwood now. He's really blown up. His daughter's an artist, but he has a number. It's only got a couple of hairs on this paintbrush, smaller than a pencil. So he'll
detail work.
so he'll do like a painting with a bike with raindrops on it.
Okay.
But the raindrop detail that he'll have a painting, and you're looking at it. How long did it take you to do this 3x5 painting? And he'll say 750 hours.
Yeah, I believe that.
But he reminds me of you because you take the time in all your detail of even just the grass in the field. This guy's the same way with the detail, but it's a motorcycle with a girl standing next to
Right.
it. He does that kind
I've
of.
never seen anything remotely like that with him. He's like
Yeah.
an impression. He just throws paint on the.
I don't even think I do that much detail. It still takes a long time.
You
know,
do
Your
detail.
your
Yeah.
detail is different.
Yeah, I'm not going for like realism. I want my work to feel like it's a living thing, not a photograph. Not.
Well, your
I don't know
paintings-
what his work is like, but and I don't have any. I love realism to a degree, but I don't do realism. I do like imagination.
He does realism. Your paintings bring you in to that imagination. I've had that when I stand in front of one of your pieces, especially when it's big,
Yeah.
and you could just be drawn right into it.
Scale matters with a
Yeah.
painting. It's actually funny on like Instagram and stuff. People are like, "Oh, that's pretty cool," and they think it's digital. I get like a lot of people think my work is digital when they see it. Like it's
It can have that
It's like
look.
an inch by an inch and a half.
Yeah.
You don't know that it. But then when you see it in person, it's a 5 foot by 6 foot.
Yeah, look at the piece
Canvas,
that's in Dylan's office.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
It's a different-
every time I walk
different
in there,
feel.
it's just like,
Which one? The scary apocalyptic one.
Yeah.
no, but it's deep and it's.
There's a lot going on in that piece.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't always just like doing landscape. I do like doing conceptual, observations of life. I think
So-
that's important.
So when you're doing a big 5x6 painting, and it takes a month to paint it, or
Oh, yeah.
2 weeks, or whatever you're
Oh, no,
doing.
it's more like a month.
So you're in
Or
the
more.
moment when you're creating it, and this energy and all this stuff is coming out. But then you go home, then you come back the next day, and then you continue on.
Yeah.
Does the energy and the vision change over a week?
It can. And I think that there's actually a good thing involved in that, where a good example of that is when I sketch to kind of get the idea of what I want. I used to be more detailed with that. Now I'm more like scratch, it's just like bing, 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 and
Right.
there's an idea. And then I know now in my mind kind of the proportions, and then I put that away. Then I go to the canvas, and now it's at scale. So I kind of approach it a second time, the same concept, but I do it now in that scale. And then I start, and each time it lets you kind of evolve a little bit more. So I don't see it as like, oh no, I can't get back into it. If I'm not getting back into it, I see it more as an opportunity to go further into it and evolve the vibe or the feeling of it and take it deeper each time. And that way I'm not like a slave to the process so much. I can kind of relieve myself of that, need to be back in that same mindset and have some kind of ritual to get into that. I can kind of just flow into the next phase of it and see what happens. And then you
Right.
get discovery. And, I'm sure if you guys took the same motorcycle ride every day, eventually you'd be like, I really want to see some new streets. The same thing happens, I think, on a canvas. You get into it, and then the next day you're kind of like, I'm really into this, but I kind of need more out of it for my own journey into this particular piece. And then it keeps it fresh, So it's a way to kind of continually move through the piece until that point at which it's done,
He's a 2LaneLIVE painter.
Exactly, because I know that we've been on the road.
Who knew?
And just like you said, if you're doing I-40 and you're riding to Laughlin and you're going to end up somewhere else, but you're going, okay, that stretch between here and there is a long desert,
Right.
but we've been there in midday in 115-degree weather, and it's just glare, and you're riding to get through it, and then you're there on the golden hour, and now there's like these shadows cast on the mountains, and it was after a couple rainstorms, and we've seen super blooms
Oh, yeah.
across the desert.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So now the same picture is completely different, even though it's the same.
Oh, it's a living place.
Right.
I relate it a little differently. I relate it to like he's laid down the canvas, and that's our first day of riding. And from the first day to the seventh day can change every single day, because someone may call us and say, hey, we just saw you. You're in this town. You should really try this out. So all of a sudden we do, because we're not really on a hard schedule.
Right.
And then it changes the whole trip. And next thing you know, we're up at Salt River Canyon. We met Dale Evans, who owns Tortilla Flat. We've seen gold, and we changed the whole ride.
And met people, and things happen.
So that happened for a reason.
Well, that's
And
a
then
good way
the
to
trip
be.
became amazing. And
Right.
it was going to be amazing anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But it was
if you
different.
try and plan life all the time,
Right.
like, that old phrase, if you want to make God laugh, have a plan. Like it's sometimes better just to flow with it and see what happens, and then you get new experiences coming your way, and you get that opportunity, that sort of that crossed path of fortune meets preparation, also opportunity. It all kind of comes together.
What's that
you know,
saying? Life is
Be
what
careful
happens
what
when
you
you're
wish
busy making other plans.
Right, that's a good one too. Yeah. That's important. By the way, 2Lane, I'll tell you, there's nothing scarier to paint than the double lines on a road, because I do that all by hand. I don't like tape anything off or anything.
Right.
So there's this like moment where I'm standing there staring at everything's looking good, and I have to put these two lines in here and run them, or one line, and make that thing. Because if
Work.
it's off a little bit, it feels off,
Right.
and if it's shifted over, it feels, if it's too thick, it feels weird, That's an intimidating moment, and you have to take a deep breath and then, okay, just relax.
I can relate to that from
Yeah.
a riding standpoint, because when you're on the road and they have painted lines, and I know you must feel the same, and you're following this curve of the line, and all of a sudden the guy that was in the truck went chink, 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 and it's like,
He was
whoa.
having a bad day.
Yeah, it's like, what? That just
Now,
threw
see,
me
I
off.
thought you were going to say something else, because I don't know if anybody knows this, but you're an amazing sign painter and letter. You do beautiful lettering.
Hand lettering.
So,
yeah.
exactly. So you know what I'm talking about. When you have this long, like 18, 20-inch long line you have to do, there's
Right.
a certain trepidation going into that. Like
Right.
you have to take a breath, and
You better flow.
yeah, you need to get your entire body into that. And,
Right.
Yeah. You would know very well exactly what that's like.
Same thing like mowing the lawn. you're pushing the lawnmower and the lawn's high and you cut it down and you didn't do it right, it's crooked.
It's close to
You're
mowing the
bummed.
lawn.
I mean, I could
I haven't seen
actually.
his signs. His signs are awesome.
I could actually, if someone said, "All right, you're retired, you got one thing to do to keep yourself busy," I could definitely be Forrest Gump on the driving lawnmower. To me, that I could just mow the lawn.
With your box of chocolates and a feather floating ever so gently down next to
I mean,
you.
it's fun when you're a kid.
Even when you're vacuuming carpet, when you see that.
No, that's different. So, like, it's fun when you're a kid.
I'm
driving
learning a lot
lawnmower,
about you, Red.
right?
Yeah.
But when you're an older gentleman riding a lawnmower, my grandfather would say, "Kids, go mow the lawn. I don't need to be out on that damn machine."
Right.
So it's good for a youthful, young, exuberant.
The driving
like,
lawnmower?
Like if you want to do a really good job on mowing your lawn, it's a hand mower.
Yeah.
Now you're on the line. I understand exactly what you're saying, but it's weird with a driving lawnmower because they don't cut as crisp and clean, in my opinion.
I use scissors.
Yes.
Well, there's
Takes
a
weeks.
2-mile section on Valley Circle
Yeah.
that I ride my bike, and it's like a median, and they've let the weeds get this tall on
Right.
it. And every time I ride by it, I'm thinking, I could be out there with a sickle or a weed whacker, and I would go down, and I already have how I would do
But
it.
why don't you go do that?
Well, now the city volunteers are actually doing it, and
they
they've
are.
cleaned it up, and I like it now. It's nice and clean, you know.
Right. I mean, we don't get political here, but I don't know what the hell's going on in the valley with all the weeds.
Yeah, especially with no
There's
water.
no
Where are they
water.
coming
What-
from?
Like, what's going on? Like,
No.
clean this place up.
Right.
I used to mow lawns back in the day out of high school. And
So did I.
I used to do these big estate lawns in Carmel Valley and
In Carmel Valley.
yeah, Carmel Valley. Way out there's a town called, or not a town, it's an area called Sleepy Hollow, and there was one house that we used to do all the landscaping for out there, and they had like numerous acres of lawn. It would take all day,
Right.
all day to do just their
Right.
lawns. And
I hated when people didn't pick up their dog poop, though.
I didn't have to worry about
hated
that there,
that.
fortunately. But I wouldn't have
Probably
liked
not
that
there,
either.
but,
No, not there.
Like, you'd go in and just be like, I just ran over a big turd, and now everything's smelly.
Right, the lawnmower's
It's
wrecked.
like, oh, come on, gosh.
Fortunately, they didn't
Thanks,
have
Ron
dogs.
Van Bibber.
So what are you doing in town now?
Josh, what are you having first?
Well, I am having. God, something's going on with my mic. I am having a New Belgium 1985 IPA. I don't know which one I like better.
I like
This one's
that.
heavier. This is a. You got two of these, you're packing a nice butts.
There you go. You're in town?
Yeah, I'm in town just to come back to the warehouse and get some
See
time
the
in
guys.
here and see the guys and make sure everything's going as it's supposed to go and everybody's doing their part and then which we always do. But we got some interesting changes coming in all aspects, some new products that we're working on, and
Nice.
so got a couple meetings about that, and then also here to do. Bring some paintings through, grab a couple of paintings to take back with me, and then and every now and then I have to do painting swaps and move them to galleries and that kind of thing. So I'm just bringing
Because
some
you're
work to
in
galleries.
several galleries.
Mhm, yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
Santa Ynez.
not Santa Ynez actually, no.
Oh, not Paso Robles. I mean.
Yeah, up in Cambria, up there, and probably going to be in one soon in Santa Barbara. But I just need to be painting more. Right now, my painting area is a bit tiny. So when I get the new spot set up, I'll be having a lot more room to, really get a lot more done. But
So you're a California coastal guy that now
Yeah.
is in Arizona.
yeah, totally grew up in California. Love California. But now I like to think of myself as, two-state.
Right.
So it's
Well,
it's
if
actually
I
kind
had
of
your
fun.
money, I'd be in 2 states.
Is that what it is? It's all the money?
But it's
There it is.
cool because if you've purchased a T-shirt from us, we've gotten them from all aspects, and the KTG and the guys
Yep,
over there are just
That's right.
so great. And we've talked about this before, especially in today's environment where it's hard to find work and good work for
Yeah.
workers, I should say. There's a younger group over there. They're all committed. They're doing a
Oh,
great
yeah.
job. I mean, they're there every day. Especially in 2020, everyone was pulling all hours because
Yeah.
they were losing folks,
Yeah.
but we never saw a slowdown. We never saw
Nope.
anything, fail in terms of product or what we needed. So it's a good group of guys.
Yeah, we kept on
and
going right
ladies.
through.
Right.
Yeah, I've never printed any of your shirts personally, but
Right.
we have. So
Right.
it's fortunately I get to be on the design end of things and stay out of the presses because that
Well,
room's
both.
hot.
I mean, they did
That's the hot
design
room.
for us and
Yeah.
print.
And it's
So-
interesting because we knew you and Jeremy and this and that, but it's not now. We only really deal with Dylan.
Oh, really?
So
That's
Dylan's our guy.
Dylan's the main dude you're
Yes.
hanging with.
Well,
And he's
you
been doing
guys-
it for a few years.
Well,
now.
You
there's
guys did the,
4 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did bought the new computer printer.
Yeah, the DTG machine. Yeah, direct to
we did a
garment.
piece with that came out phenomenal.
Yeah, that's kind of it's a bit of a game changer having that, just because we can do one-offs of high complexity, which
Right.
is excellent, as opposed to screen printing, which takes a whole troop of people to do a screen print,
Right.
because you have to have multiple silk screens, and with to pull those on the carousel printer, and this thing is more like just print it, and the quality of it is actually getting to where actual screen printing is.
Right.
So
So it
it's,
was probably
it's pretty amazing.
6 colors, 7 colors,
Maybe more.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be
I mean, it
infinite
was
amount of colors.
amazing.
It wouldn't matter. Yeah, that's the amazing thing. It wouldn't even matter. You could do whatever. I mean, I can actually get way more detailed with my work, even to do DTG.
Right.
Whereas when I'm doing screen printing, everything has to be, very specific. I can do maybe 6, 7 colors, 8 if we're crazy, and we really want to task ourselves with some, excessive amount of effort. But the DTG is like, boop, boop, boop. You just
Right.
push a couple of buttons, and then here we go, So, and you can just do 1 or 2,
Right.
which is really nice. So you can prototype, which is
Well, and
interesting.
what was cool for us is we did a pre-order. Here's a limited run. It comes with a postcard signed, special sticker, not meant for wearing every day. It's
Right.
like one of those collector's items, and we did it for 2 weeks, and we ended up doing however many shirts we did, and we got the job over to them. Boom, done, and it was out.
Yeah,
70 to 100 shirts. We did a
Yeah.
lot of it.
and
was-
stickers too.
Yeah.
And embroider. Did we embroider the hat?
No, this one was. This
might-
one might have been you guys.
You went somewhere else to embroider the hat?
No, we go to you guys.
That one might have been you guys. 'Cause we've had the Highwaymen done. Yeah.
That's fine.
We
You guys gotta
go
do what
where
you gotta
the
do.
complicated stuff. So like when we want to do raised, we go over to you guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, I really like everything that's embroidered. It's
Yeah.
just something about it feels really high quality.
Yeah.
Everything's
a-
high quality, but embroidered just is. It's so physical, It's such
Right.
it's a tangible thing. You
Right.
literally feel it.
Is that hat black?
Yeah.
I don't remember that because we did the blue ones with that.
Yeah, I think this may have been the other guys.
Hey, when
at
do I get a
first.
2-lane life hat?
There's one out there.
Yeah, okay.
It's a badge, though.
Do you wear hats?
I do occasionally.
Uh-huh.
It protects my bald head.
Uh-huh.
It's not a bad thing in,
You need to
in
get
the hot
yourself
sun.
a cowboy hat when you're living in Arizona.
Well, I got myself
Well, everyone
a
in
gardening
Arizona
hat.
needs a cowboy hat.
I remember the movie with Clint Eastwood. He was a detective from Arizona.
Which one was that?
Everyone called him Tex. It was an old Clint Eastwood movie. He had boots on and a hat, and he was
I
in
wonder.
New York doing something. And they'd go, "Listen, Tex," and he'd go, "I'm from Arizona," because he was from Arizona.
I wonder if I've seen that. I
I forget what it's called.
We had really good family.
Joe Kidd, maybe.
Joe Kidd. I don't know. Have you seen Play Misty for Me
Uh-huh.
and Outlawed Josie Wales?
Yeah,
We had
all
a
of
family
them, yeah.
friend, Bruce Surtees, who passed away unfortunately a number of years ago. He is the cinematographer for all those.
Wow.
I used to go watch all these movies. He did Dirty Harry and
Oh, nice.
all that stuff. We used to watch the movies with him, and he would tell us all the stories about
Wow.
what they were doing on set and like how crazy it was or wasn't or whatever was going on. It was kind of fun. But I don't know if I've actually seen, or if I have seen it, I don't remember that one particularly.
Well, you'll have to check it out. I'm going to get the name of it.
Yeah,
for
my
you.
dad and I, we used to watch all kinds of Eastwood movies. We love those films.
He's my man.
Yeah, I just
So-
went back and did Once Upon a Time in the West and Good, Bad, and the Ugly just within the last couple of months. So kind of revisiting those. Good
Right.
time for that.
So tell them your Instagram again.
Oh, yeah, the Instagram is Adam Lisco well, actually, it's just at Adam Lisco.
Yeah.
And then-
How do you spell it?
It's ADAMLICSKO.
And what's your website?
It's just adamlisco.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can check out all my work there.
You got to check his stuff out.
We have any
Pretty
comments?
cool stuff.
Anything that we?
Oh yeah, everyone's just talking back and forth. We have a couple comments on how that Woodford's not
Going down?
not going down very fast.
Is that Joe again?
No.
No, might have been a different Joe. There's a couple Joes on right
Got some
now.
hate mail going yet?
We got some people hitting on the babysitting you guys have going on, or you two. Me and Galen are putting in work over here. I earlier said I don't know which one I like better, but I think the 1985 IPA is my go-to now.
I think that's pretty damn
It's
good.
not insanely bitter, but it's hoppy as hell, and it has a nice flavor
I
to
won't
it.
be
It's,
I'm digging
drinking
it.
that.
pretty well balanced.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually like to point out that this is my first beer with you guys, considering how long we've known each other, and I've actually never just.
Well, this is my
because you
second-
know I don't really have beer that often.
This
It's
is
a
my
rare thing
second
for
beer
me.
with you.
That's true.
That's your first with me.
I'm a lightweight.
Yeah.
So am I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's sort of an auspicious moment, I guess.
Hey.
Well, we're glad you stopped in.
Yeah. Thank you.
It was cool to see you poke your head around the corner.
Yeah, it was a great time. I'm really glad to have come in. Pretty random.
We got another visitor.
Oh, Jake was just poking his head in here.
Jake, come
I think
on
he wants a
in.
drink.
I actually got a photo shoot coming up that I got to get to, so I might bounce. Is that
All
good
right.
with you
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah.
So you're around.
Yeah,
We
I'll
can
be-
chat tomorrow.
Well, I'll be here tomorrow. I'm going up to a gallery, and then I'll be back on the weekend. So I'll be here on the weekend.
Awesome.
If you guys are coming on the weekend, we should visit.
Yes. So
Good stuff.
thanks for
Thank
stopping
you.
by, and
Thank you so much.
we're gonna come and visit you in Arizona.
Cheers.
Cheers. Get off. That just blew his ears
You're
out.
good.
That's all right.
If you guys ever want to
That's
come
not
out,
all
come
right.
out. That'd be
We
great.
do.
I would love to see you guys out there.
We come.
Yeah.
We go through there a lot. So.
Oh, that would be so awesome. Yeah, please come visit. That'd be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, we'll do like a barbecue or something. That'd be
For sure.
Awesome.
There you
man. All right,
I love
right
it.
on.
All
All right,
right.
guys.
Thanks for
All
stopping
right,
in.
Adam
Yeah,
Lisco's
Adam.
out, but we're still in.
Thank
Yo.
you. Thank you for having me for a moment. Enjoy. Good to see you.
All right, where'd Jakey boy go?
Good to see you. Enjoy, guys.
Where's
Thanks.
Jake?
Talk soon.
Yeah, take care. Thank you.
What were you saying?
Where'd Jakey boy go?
He just
Why?
looked at me where he
Yeah.
walked away.
I had my slip-ons and took them off. This is kind of our living room, isn't it?
No.
No? What is it?
It's not?
No.
Jeez.
No.
Does that mean we have to have Woodford or no?
Well, I haven't been in the drinking mood on a weekday in quite some time, and
You
right
have not?
now,
He had a
today,
rough
I had a rough day, and today I am.
day.
So, whatever you throw at me, I'm
Well,
going
we
to
don't
drink.
need you to go over the deep end, man, do we?
Yeah, we did.
Nah, it'll get the creative
So,
juices flowing. I got
No
to
one's
finish an episode
commented on
tonight.
our sound or anything. We've been.
Josh, you should get a Road Glide. I like your bike. Well, my bike will be, in my opinion, better than Road Glide when I'm done. So just stay tuned for that if you read the above comment. Yeah, stop shaking your head. He's gonna ride my bike and shit his pants. 'Cause it'd be so much better.
Yeah, I love my
Nah, it'll
Road
be
Glide.
it'll be my style. I dig Road Glides, but I like what I'm building more. So we'll see how it ends up.
All right. Well, this is not cool.
Well, it's not cool.
So, rule number 1:
We got a rule. Someone didn't ice it up.
when you wash your whiskey glass,
I always put water in it.
you have to.
Where's your mic, bud?
Rule number 1: when you drink out of your whiskey glass, you go wash it, and then you put
Water
in it and put it in the freezer.
Absolutely.
Oh, is that what that metal one is?
Well,
Who failed? I see a.
whoever drank out of that,
I
one,
see a clear. It's warm too.
Nope.
it was in the dish rack.
Ooh. Well.
For those listening, here's some what do they call that?
Oh my God. I'll take it home.
ASMR.
Of course you will.
Yes, I. You know.
I'll sacrifice.
We're drinking good.
But you're more professional.
Yes.
Have you seen me in the thrashing videos?
Or I. Wow, that's a
I
nice
don't know. I
hefty.
guess in the last ration video, I was kind of.
No, you were in ours.
Oh, in ours. Oh, right.
You were bombed in ours.
At least I was walking, right?
You kept saying, I want to do this bit with Juan, and over and over. And so finally Josh said, okay, let's film it.
Hey, I
And
could have had a stranger.
You
film
loved it.
but I didn't use it.
We used it.
Which one?
The
Did I see it
ask
already?
ask
You mean where he asked me something
ask
yes.
something to you in English,
Lance
and then
asked
Juan
me something,
translates
Juan
it into
translated it
Spanish, and then you answer it in
Yes.
English.
But we didn't use that
It was in the video.
Did.
in our video.
In our video.
Day one.
Whoa, I better watch it again. Yeah.
Right after Galen's
Cheers.
newsreel in the beer room. Cheers, boys.
Here's to all the support from our subscribers and people
Yep.
that purchased during the month. We had a really good month. Thank you.
And I'm
love
looking
y'all.
right now. We our total channel views are 4,371,858.
Thank you.
So that's
Yeah.
that's a trip.
And we
That's kind
thank
of
you. It
wild.
really means a lot because we put a lot of work into this, and it's anyone that's been with us behind the scenes, and we've even talked to other people that film and do their own rides, and they understand what it takes to deliver what we deliver on Wednesdays and during the week, along with the hard work and being in the warehouse and doing what we do. So we love these Thursdays to sit down and have a drink and hang out with y'all, because y'all are why we do this.
Indeed.
Joe Stuper, thank you.
Yeah, that Woodford doesn't get old, and this time the glass is clean.
So do we have to take a Sharpie and mark on the bottle so like people can actually see it going down, or do we?
No.
We're good the way it is.
What if Josh and I take a little nip off the bottle? We don't need to show people.
Where it's going.
In 1 week, we finished an
Questions.
entire bottle.
Next week they come and it's only got a quarter in it.
Let's see. Well, I think they'd be proud because they're all making
They would be
comments
proud.
on how it's not getting drank.
So, hey, I forgot. Dang.
What'd you forget, man?
I'm going to read. What time is it?
It is 5:13.
Shoot.
What? You can read it.
So, Kevin Kent, is he watching or is he on?
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. We can
didn't
read it
do-
now, and then we'll read it again next week, and
Well,
maybe
we
do
didn't
a little more.
StreamYard either. So next
Yep.
week when we have StreamYard, Kevin Kent, gentleman that's been following us and loving the parts that have been put out over the last couple of years. He has a picture of some stuff. He upgraded to the triple tree with the gauge relocator, loves it. He sent an email the other day, and when I first read it, it just gave me chills that there's people out there in this world that are still thinking about our armed servicemen and women. And he said,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
I would love to donate my risers and my adapter plate, and what have you to an armed service, veteran. And so we'll throw in a pair of handlebars and some perch clamps to go along with that, because get someone set up. It is used, but I mean, just the thought.
But it being used, it's still good. So
No, it's
basically,
I've got the email right here too.
but we're going to have a giveaway where he's donating his parts. We'll
Yeah.
add some parts to it, and a veteran's going to win a whole handlebar setup.
So next week we're going to have Eagle Rider on. That's the plan. We'll bring Kevin in at the back end of that, and we'll have a drawing or a giveaway where people nominate one of their veterans, friends of theirs, or what have you. And we'll do a drawing and a giveaway of a riser adapter plate. It's for Road Glide.
Right.
What are those 6.5
Set up.
pullbacks
I
of the
think
1
they're
inch
6.5.
spacer?
Yep.
So
Someone can be a lucky winner.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So I want to tell him, we've talked over the phone for the last year and a half as we've gotten into different discussions, but when we called him the other day and it was like, hey dude, I got the chills when I read this. This is incredible.
Right.
Thank you for at least thinking of our veterans.
Yeah, absolutely. Really great.
So I'll read the first part of his email. It said, "Hey guys, I've been a longtime follower almost from the beginning and truly believe in what you all are doing and the message you're trying to get out to the motorcycle community. I've mentioned in the past how inspirational y'all have been to me, and you can see what you are achieving by the people that follow you. I love your message about shaking hands with America and supporting our veterans and first responders. This leads me to why I'm reaching out."
Read
So-
the whole thing.
All right.
Go for it.
I have a 2020 Road Glide Limited that's decked out in thrash and supply parts. I love the way they look as well as how they change the handling of this big beast. When the 6.5 pullback risers and adapter plate came out, I jumped on it and upgraded the bike along with the high bend bars. Love it. Blah, blah, blah. There's a couple paragraphs in between there. All that being said, I have a lot of parts left over. In the attached photo, there are 6.5 pullback risers, 1 inch extensions, and a Road Glide adapter, and I'd like to donate these parts to a vet or first responder who might not be able to afford these parts or who might just be getting started. I will clean all these up and will pay for the shipping to you or someone who might know or nominate. If you don't, blah, blah, blah. So,
That's
yeah,
our
that's
community.
awesome.
So, Kevin, if you're listening, if not, we'll reach back out to you. I forgot about that. We were going to do StreamYard, which allows us then to give you a link to jump in and join us. So we didn't do that this week, but we'll get on that next week and create a nice little giveaway.
Boom.
Awesome.
There you have it.
Well, let's see what else we got. People are asking, where is Juan? He actually made some big appearances in this week's drop.
Yes, Juan
So-
is about 100 yards away from us in another building doing work.
He might be gone.
Joe King says Josh's liver is still recovering from Sturgis along with the guys. Now we've trained
Let's
trained
talk
quite
about
a bit.
this for a minute.
No.
What's that?
In Sturgis, you did drink some stuff.
Oh, I drank heavily, yeah.
I mean, drink some stuff.
Drank heavily into the
Uh-oh,
alcohol.
Watch out.
Libations?
We did have a few of those.
Yeah, I mean when the keys were parked in the suitcase for the night and I knew I wasn't riding, I was drinking. I was
We have a
drinking.
little bit of a concern, though. You're trying to, it's like a bull ride with you.
Yeah.
You're trying to do it in 8 seconds.
Oh, a beer.
Yeah, like if you
It was
get
5.
thrown, I know. That's
Yeah.
See, when
It-
Josh goes, he
maybe
goes.
go to like 10 or 15.
What is it? Jenny
think
Craig?
when
What do they call? No, that's the fat loss.
I think when he starts drinking with the
Jake
boys,
Craig.
when we're
No.
crashing guys, I think he thinks he's back in his sorority college. And it's
sorority
very-
college.
Whatever.
First you call me a mermaid, now I'm in a sorority.
Well, you're a chick.
Jeez. Yeah, it's 2022.
What's
you
a
never
guy's
know.
thing called?
No.
A
Fraternity.
frat.
fraternity.
And what
All
was I
right,
thinking?
frat
We had all
house.
those comments. Oh, Juan and Lance flew home to go to. It's not Jenny Craig. It's the other one.
Oh.
Betty Ford?
Betty
Is that
Ford.
it? Yeah, Betty Ford. I'm just training for Betty Ford.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
Right.
they're rubs.
Are you going to have new shirts that match the new American flag badge sticker?
Oh, you
Well,
know
Donovan
we
and
are.
Leia, you might have guessed correct. We're working on it. They're coming along.
Actually, we're going to have long sleeves. We're going to have
Short
short
sleeves?
sleeve and a hoodie. And that stuff is printing, so we're told, starting Monday.
So next week we will have
Stay
them up on
tuned.
the site, and they will be badass. And we got some
Yes,
other
sir.
cool designs we're working on too, coming later.
Yeah. And check out that Highwayman seat.
Ooh, yeah.
Thank you. I mean, we've got a ton of orders for that, so.
We have our own seat.
I was
It's
told
ours.
today that they're in the process of getting those in the queue and making those, and so hopefully mid to late September we're.
I guess
good
we
on
can't
our
say
work.
we have our own seat. We have our own seats. We're gonna have what, 6 different styles
Yeah.
with our badge on it.
3? 4. Road sofa, slim, step up, touring, step up.
I think we'll have the road sofa and the extended reach road sofa.
We have cool gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Have cool gloves.
Betty Ford Clinic. Thank you, Matthew. That's where I'm headed after this show. But first,
So up
I
next,
drink.
we're going to be heading to Kentucky, which will be our next big trip.
Actually, you and I are going on a trip next week.
Where are we going? Oh,
Milwaukee.
Galen and I are going to go be actual models next week in
Wow.
Milwaukee for one of the Harley catalogs. Interesting.
I don't know what it's going to be for, but
I know we're going to be in a Christmas tree lot.
yes. So that's kind of cool. And then, yeah, we're going to head out to Nashville, pick up a couple Eagle Rider bikes,
Right?
join Letitia Klein. Hopefully Mike will be part of that little run. We'll go up to Cave City, Kentucky. And I think, depending on what Letitia has to say, we try to get down to the tail of the dragon and at least get that done while we're that close.
Well,
It's only a couple 100 miles away.
we had Letitia on a live, so you can see who she is. She's
Yeah.
awesome, hardworking, does more than, man, I mean, she's busy doing work.
Well, I think her third or fourth billboard just went up for mayor of Cave City.
Right.
She's got her lawn placards. She's working it. She's doing construction right now on a different place. I can't wait to see her bar.
I can't wait to hang out in her bar.
Can't wait to meet her sister, who I've seen beat people over the bar. She doesn't take any crap. It's going to be a good time.
What if she
Taking the
twists your
ladies.
arm behind your back and throws you out the front door?
She was not doing that. She was full throttle. So no fear in that young lady. But
Right.
the ladies will come with us, and should be a really great trip.
Where can the folks out there listen to these lives if they want it? They're in their car.
Well, they're at least on Spotify. I've gone through the process of trying to get it on Apple Music, and it says success. And then on our platform, it says we're not. So it's a whole deal. But at least Spotify, if
You
you
can
know.
hear these lives
Yep.
Yep.
live on Spotify.
Well, that was kind of cool. Adam stopped in. That was like just spur of the moment.
That
you
was
know.
spur of the moment.
If you really go look at his stuff, I'm pretty impressed. The coloring, and it maybe Instagram may not do it justice completely
Right.
based on what he was kind of saying, but I'm telling you, the stuff is so vibrant, and it takes you right into it. I mean, it's great.
Well, he's in
Great
several galleries. He moved to Arizona, so
Yep.
he's on a little plot of land with a little barn, and he's got some cool stuff going on. So kind of interesting. He's a traveler at heart. He does the same kind of feeling about that as we do, you know.
Well, I mean, look, we've met some great artists. Scott's one of them,
Right.
And just but different genres,
Right.
but they're both incredible, and he's got some really incredible stuff that he's taking from places he's been, and just using his imagination with it.
Right.
You know, but hey, cool stuff.
Well, you know, we always talked about things happening, and like you say, we have several really cool partnerships happening throughout the end of the year and starting for 2023. We have our normal people that have been with us, and we love them all. And
Our
that's-
phenomenal people that have been with us.
Yeah.
What's that?
Our phenomenal people
Phenomenal.
that have been with us.
Yes, and they're part of our family, and we have some new ones that we're adding to it. So it gives us the opportunity to hit the road more. And we got some great stuff planned, and some great documentaries, and some great writing. And
Well, we haven't even planned for 23, and so that needs to happen in the next couple.
well, I'm
couple
sure we're
weeks.
stirring up those thoughts in our heads.
Well, I think, I had someone today ask if we're going to do a southern trip, and so I think we should try and do like a Louisiana, Alabama, Atlanta or Georgia. I don't know, maybe get into Florida. I think there's some barbecue out there waiting for us to eat. I heard there's from a guy today, he was talking about some great trailers off the side of the road that they found where it's just incredible queue. I mean, Roji loves barbecue.
Well, I think you were with us when we were on the road to Hana, and we stopped at that little trailer
Yeah.
shack and ate
No, you were
some-
with us.
Huh?
You were with us. I think you were with us. That's how you said that.
You were with us.
No, you were with us.
You were with them. They weren't with you.
We were together.
Yes. Speaking
Wow.
of which,
Whoa.
I've been trying to scan through the comments as they rapid fire up on here, and Yogurt says, I'll buy a part needed for the cause as well. So he's down to pitch in
That's
for
very
the
nice
final
of you,
product on
Shannon.
whoever
Thank you.
gets
So-
drawn to win that.
Maybe by the time this happens, we'll have a road glide set up really cool for somebody.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Thanks, Shannon.
We appreciate that. Riding
Boom.
with Yogurt, go check it out. He's the guy that likes to rip around.
Check it out.
He just bought a
KTM 1290 Super Adventure R, I think.
Yeah. So now we get to fit that bike. We're looking at all Saddlemen seats. We're looking at all parts. We're going to open up the metric side of the store.
I've got a dual heated Saddleman for that bike at my house, Shannon. If you want to buy it, it's yours.
Fit the same bike?
Yeah, because my brother has one.
Gotcha.
For only 3 easy payments of $7,000.
All right,
Well,
so how
all right,
long have
so-
we been here?
about an hour.
Yeah, probably like an hour.
So look, next week we're hoping to have folks on from Eagle Rider. Looks like that may happen. Maybe the founder.
That'd be great.
Our buddy was in a car wreck and unfortunately couldn't make it today, and hopefully things are going
He's
well.
okay though,
Yeah,
right?
Joe. And so Joseph broke his shoulder.
Wow.
He was sitting on the 91 stopped, and a guy ran into him at 60 miles an hour.
Did the seatbelt break his shoulder? Or?
I mean, that's
Could
a
be.
pretty hard impact.
Oh, dang.
So thank God he's not, another thing.
Right.
So he made it through, and so now it's just a matter of getting better. And but him and John have been great for us, and can't wait to hear the story and really introduce the partnership next week. It's going to be great, and then we've got a couple more coming. So
Boom.
good stuff happening at 2LaneLIVE. So with that, you're a lonely man.
Who?
You,
I'm a lonely man.
yes.
Oh, my wife is just traveling at the moment. And actually, I have a house full, so I'm not that lonely.
You're not that lonely. Well, Laura, if you're watching, hopefully your trip is about to kick off and going to be wonderful.
Right. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time is all I got to say, right?
Or subscribe.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell your friends. You know,
Mhm.
we need that support. You know,
Down that road.
yeah, because you got to be with us on these adventures. We got some cool ones coming up.
Down that road, for those listening on Spotify, you're the man or woman. For those listening on YouTube, same goes for you. 2lanelife.com. We got blogs, we got parts, we got maps, and subscribe to that. Subscribe to the website. Shameless plug. Were you going to say something?
Yes.
Well, also Instagram. Can you go ahead?
Who visited us today?
We had a guy from Modesto that came down.
That guy was awesome. He came down from Modesto. He
Yeah.
wanted to come in and get a picture in our studio.
Yeah.
And then who else came and tried the windshields?
Chris came, Kurtz.
So Chris Kurtz came in, and he said something to us today when we were standing in the parking lot.
He did.
He said, I want to thank you guys for doing all the research and testing and writing that you do, because you made it easy for me as a beginner to come in and get a bike and know what to get for it without having to do this whole process.
So he rides dual sport. He's ridden dirt. His girlfriend,
First
her
road
fiance,
ride. Yeah.
is a big dirt rider, and it's his first Harley Davidson.
Right.
And so he went big. He went with the ST Road Glide, but then it's like, and how do I improve the bars and the foot controls? And by watching us over the last year and a half, he knows that we put the miles down, and so he came and visited us, and lo and behold, we got him the whole setup. Kyle put all the stuff on. Looked great. He did the 9.5 pullbacks with a mid-bend bar, which I think is what I'm going to do.
Perfect
I
setup.
do the top tree. He's stoked. He did the apex. He did the shifter lever. He did the shift peg, saddleman seat, the slim. We just ordered him a 12-inch Pro Touring. So yeah, and he did comment, we made it easy for him.
I like that. Makes
So
us...
hopefully we can make it easy for everyone.
right.
2lanelife.com, another shameless plug. And hey, I want to thank Alex again from New Belgium. They stepped up. It's funny because he sent me a text. He's like, hey, I've got some cases for you. Maybe I shouldn't share this, but I will. And he's like, but I'm going to get you something for your live through Drizzly. And I'm like, what the hell is Drizzly? Well, if you haven't looked at this thing, guys, it's Drizzly app.
It's like a Uber Eats.
Yeah, it's
right?
like
yeah.
No.
and it's like a bear on the. So it's like Grizzly, but it's Drizzly. And then you can order alcohol on this app to be delivered to wherever you want.
The other day is
You
all
have to have
pumped.
your ID, though,
You have to have your and sign for it.
and sign for it.
I mean, I could not believe. And next thing you know, so I just selected, yesterday between 4 and 5, and they showed up at 4 o'clock and
So,
handed us our great New Belgium beer.
so if we were on the open road and we stopped somewhere and we got our hotel for the night, you could hit Drizzly and...
I imagine so. I mean, I'm going to check that out too. But not a plug for New Drizzly.
No.
Plug for
New Drizzly.
So, hey,
for
But he digs
Drizzly.
it. But he digs it.
With that, Josh, what are you up to?
Yes, Neil. Neil says, I'm about to get new tires. Do you guys recommend Dunlops? Dunlop, American Elites, all the way. Before we close it out, I'll tell you my quick story. A couple weeks back, or right before Sturgis, my American Elites were on back order. So I got another tire without slamming this company. They're also a very popular tire, but I don't want to be a dick. I rode them 100 miles, and it was a terrible 100 miles. And then I messed with my tire pressure, checked my rotors, checked all this other stuff. Did not make a difference, or did not improve the situation, I should say. Then I swapped the wheels with Galen. Completely solved all my issues. Next day, my new tires came up, the American Elites, put them on. They were great. And now that's kind of all I can stand by and what they have stood by for the past few years. So, yes,
well, I'll
I do
just tell you,
recommend.
for the 10 years we've been riding, we have tried multiple tires, and I know everyone has their own feel, but every time we've come back to the American Elite, and
Every time.
we love
Feels
it.
like home.
Yeah. Hundreds of thousands of miles on them.
Right.
Well,
So we like the compound, we like the tread pattern, we like the whole deal.
And tires are hard to get. Right now,
They're very hard
we
to
have
get.
them on order for us. We got fronts in. We need some rears
Yeah.
for our personal bikes. So
You
if you
need-
need tires,
You need a rear.
yeah, I'd get them in quick
Yep.
and wait. You got to wait because it's the supply chain.
Hard to find.
But hey, if you only weekend ride, it's okay.
Well, you still need rubber. You still need oil. I mean, it's really been an issue for the last 2 years.
I mean, I've
The
seen
slowdown has, like, we can't get one of the main oil kits we use. They've got oil filters sitting on the water, not being able to be checked.
docked.
I mean, it's
like
just
here.
crazy to me.
Well, once we get them in, we'll be able to give everyone their
Of
orders.
course, but I mean, we're 2 years out of the thing.
Right.
Like, come on.
Well,
But you can't find work, I guess. I don't know.
right. People aren't working.
No.
The whole thing. But anyway.
But we hired a new employee.
Yeah, we had. Oh, yeah.
Kaylee.
That's going to be great. So, hey, what a good time. This was a great time today.
Worked
It
out.
was.
You know, so hey, we're going to do some things because we want Josh to be actually on the camera as well.
Yeah, we went through a whole thing. We swapped cameras around. We swapped mics. To me, this mic sounds really bad right now, but it might just be because we're using a different setup. Anyway, we found out it was something else after going through all that trouble. But we appreciate you guys tuning in.
I don't think my guy can close it. He's ready to close, but then he does. He's
Are we closing it?
so he's like.
Ladies and gentlemen, 5:34
Hey,
p.m. Canoga Park, California.
And we'll
That's
see you down the
8:34 in the morning in Australia. So I've learned. I'm going to go off on tangents just like my buddy Lance. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Always a good time on the live. Lance, you have anything to say, Felipe?
See you down the road, is what I got to say.
Drinking the beers.
Yes.
Drinking too many beers, Felipe.
Yes,
Drinking too many
yes,
beers.
yeah.
Damn, how do I stop this? There we go. All right, any last words?
No, until next week.
Until next week. See you down the road.
Oh, wait, next week.
What? We'll be here.
Will ya?
Will we? Yeah. Won't we?
Maybe.
Maybe not.
We might see you next week. Later.
Might not.